Okay, so Demart, just tell us a bit about yourself, what it was like growing up.
You know, I grew up in the time of the war in Angola. Things were very tough at that stage, not just for me and my family, but for most Angolans, because we're in a time of war. We had a civil war there, you know, and my family was quite involved in that because my grandfather was Jonas Savimbi and he was the rebel leader. You know, he was fighting against the current party, which is the MPLA. My father as well was quite prominent in the war because he was the general of the UNITA army. So I grew up in a time where, you know, a lot of turmoil, a lot of war. We had to relocate a lot, and I didn't have like a stable upbringing as most people would have, like in a place like South Africa, where it was a case of always you had to relocate to a certain area because the enemy, in this sense, was approaching. It was good, you know. I first beat Drikas, then I beat Zulu Boy. You know, I thought I'd won already everything. I was already relaxed, you know. Got my things already sorted out, but then eventually they come and say we need to play again, and big ups to Zulu Boy. Came in strong and he managed to get the win, so yeah. But it was very, very cool, lots of fun. Still here at the convention center. We just finished up wrapping up. We did an interview or so yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, a nice Sunday out, you know, and my wife out here, so yeah, all good. But for me and my family, you know, we grew up in a time of war where, you know, there was nothing that was stable in the sense of you stay in one place the whole time. It was a case of you had to relocate and move a lot. You know, it was hard. In the process, I've lost a lot of relatives. And at this point in my life now, I've lost my dad because of the war, and my mom eventually passed away as well. So I mean, it's been a case of, it's taught me to be tough and be mentally ready to, you know, to overcome anything. You know, I don't want to be a victim in any way. And depending whatever happens in my life, I want to succeed and I want to be the best at it. I don't want to use my past or circumstances as an excuse to not do what I want to do. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, you know, leading up to this point. But yeah, the war is over now in Angola. You know, my grandfather was killed in 2002 and my father died in 98. My mom then eventually died in 2002 as well. So it wasn't easy, you know, but I'm no victim. I believe I'm a champion, I'm a winner. And this is how life is. Sometimes you're handed a certain situation that you just gotta overcome, and you can't feel sorry for yourself. You can't hold on to the past. You just have to go on and move forward. Yeah, so now we're at Serenity. What's convenient is just upstairs from where the gym is. This is where I come and get my massages done. I also have Jess downstairs where she does also specific massages, but this is more of a Thai type of massage, so they're quite strong and they click you as well afterwards. So it's also like a chiro session in a sense where they align your back and they align your hips as well. Helps a lot with recovery. You know, I think the training itself is hard, and that part I got really down. I think the biggest thing now is just having the time to recover and doing the right things to recover. So you want to go have a massage. I try to massage like twice a week. Or when I'm fighting, when I'm in camp, I try to sometimes massage 3-4 times a week. So yeah, that works really well for me. Yeah, I think the most important thing in fighting is the mind, for sure. We're in a sport where it's quite grueling on your body, and it's a constant struggle when you're sore and you still have to come and train. This is very relaxing, you know. You get to zone out and you try to think of basically nothing when you're in there, just trying to be calm and relaxed. I think just like a fight, you know, when you step in there, you have to be as calm as possible and just enjoy the moment, you know. I think this is more of also a mental session, just to relax your body, you know. But yeah, but it's also important to go to the, you know, just with that you have to go to the physio, chiropractor, and regularly go to a doctor just to check how everything is. And yeah, and also with the fighting in UFC, you have to go get your CT scans, you know, get the brain scans just in case maybe you have a concussion or something wrong with your brain. So I think the whole holistic thing, that's what's very important as a fighter. You can't just train hard all the time without recovering, and this is one of my ways to recover. So there's quite a few massages that they provide here, but I like to come for the sports massage, where it's a deep tissue massage. You know, with the kind of training that I do, it's quite grueling on your body, and you want to make sure that they dig deep, you know, where you get to work your muscles in that level. So today I'm doing more of a traditional Thai massage, which is more oil based, but still quite a lot of pressure, which helps me a lot to recover. So probably do one today, and maybe another one end of the week as well. You know, you feel good and you can maintain that level of training, because it's quite tough on your body. So I try to train hard still, but make sure that I recover as well. You know, as a youngster, I was very, very naughty, and you know, like if you see the scars in my forehead, it's because I used to fight a lot. It was when I was a kid, and I used to. Funny enough, there's one that looks like a plane here. I was fighting with my brother, and I think I was like 4 or 5. Then he pushed me, and I fell on the skirts of the wall. So I hit my head straight on it, and it cut open. It was gushing a lot of blood. You know, you know, I was so naughty. Afterwards, there's another scar that I have, I think, on the side. That was when we had a dare. You know, a few friends of mine, you know, we dared who could break a bottle of glass with their forehead. You know, I've never been a wuss, and I take a challenge. So I took. They were like faking that they're gonna break the glass, then they weren't doing it. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this. So I took the glass and smashed it in my head. Lots of blood coming out. You know, I think I've always been a very naughty kid, and yeah. But in terms of martial arts, in a sense, I started training karate when I was like 7, 8, but it was nothing serious. And then eventually, when I got here in South Africa, I've been in South Africa for quite a long time now, I started doing Muay Thai, and Muay Thai in 2015. Then I did a bit of Muay Thai, and when I was in high school, I had a friend of mine that's also now fighting at the EFC called Marino Kotandana, who introduced me to the UFC. And it was actually 2006, introduced me to the UFC, and he was doing already a little bit of jiu-jitsu. So he started teaching me a bit of jiu-jitsu, how to grapple. So then with that, just the love just kept growing and growing, and I became more interested in MMA. And I started to teach myself. I used to watch a lot of videos on, you know, YouTube and all those. And there used to be Pride days. You know, watch a lot of Pride. Look at Ricks and Gracie and that Gracie family and all how they're doing in the UFC. So it's just then from that just went on and on. Then I eventually joined a MMA gym in Pretoria, you know, called Undisputed, where I started being more serious with MMA. And the funny thing is that when I joined EFC, which was in 2011, I watched EFC 06. And then in that event, we told ourselves, myself and Marino, that look, let's give ourselves 2 more years, and I think we can actually join EFC. So now the following EFC, one day before weigh-in, we get a call saying that there's an opening to fight in EFC. So now this is a place where I wanted to fight 2 years from then. So it happens that one day before the weigh-in, I think someone pulled out or a new fight was presented. Then Graham gave a call to my coach, then Dimitri, saying that there's an opening. So we thought, geez, let's do this. Crazy enough, I wasn't ready. That gym, we didn't have punching bags. We only had like some mitts. We didn't have mats. We used to grapple in the grass. It was like old school Rambo style, you know. So I thought to myself, you know what, at the stage I had like one full contact MMA amateur fight, and I had a few grappling fights, but I don't think I was ready in any case. So, you know, the fight started. You know, I just told myself, look, you're not fit for this, so just take this guy down, get the takedown, and finish him. So luckily I went in there, finished him in about 51 seconds or so. So yeah, that's how the journey began, but I definitely wasn't ready for that fight.
Thing.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen, I think,
like shooting events, shooting things, shooting.
I think like the first show in itself, when they choose the fighters, then
it gives them a shot at it. So if they win it, do they get a title shot?
yes, they fight the winner, I think, of Drinkers.
The other competitor, the guy that you fought, what's his name?
Zayed.
Is it? Yeah, Sayed, yeah. Would look deadly and then look like a cheeky pocket square and just an open shoot.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. Yeah.
So I think on the end, on like the finale.
You know, after the first fight, I was thinking to myself, geez, you know, I was lucky that I basically dodged a bullet. I was basically an amateur that got into the pro circuit. You know, I was studying at the State University of Pretoria. I was doing my business degree. You know, it was very, very hard because we didn't have any other professional fighter in the gym. It was just me, and a lot of the times I couldn't train through the day because all my other teammates were at school or they were working, so it was extremely difficult for me. And then I decided, you know what, if I wanted to do this properly, I needed to do it full time. So I stopped with my studies for a while to just see how well I can do this, because I could always go back and study. Then at my following fight, put in more work, but it was still not enough because I wasn't training properly, and that gym was more of an amateur gym. I won my second fight with Kazadi, which is a lot harder. It was more wrestling based, because what I used to do, I used to go and train wrestling at the Takis by LC De Villiers in University of Pretoria. I had also another teammate that was had colors in wrestling, Gauteng colors. So it helped me a lot. My wrestling was getting better, but my whole MMA game and mixing up my stand-up with my ground was just nowhere. So then I won that second fight, and EFC was quite impressed with me. They gave me the opportunity to fight Leo Gloss, you know, EFC 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so after that, you know, just went to wrestled and wrestled and wrestled. I moved into a house with a friend of mine. His name is Van Veek Povey. He used to fight K1. I think now he's in the States. We moved in together with another friend. The three of us just train every day. Wake up, go train for a month or so before the fight, and I used to just go wrestle a lot at LC De Villiers. Wrestling, and that's how the fight was with Gloss, you know. He had finished like 5 or 6 of his previous opponents. I went in there, just wrestled him for 5 rounds, and I got the win, you know. Then a lot of people weren't happy because they're saying I was just wrestling too much and I need to mix it up, and they were saying, oh no, lay and pray and this and that. But at that stage, to be honest, I just became a champion just from wrestling. But then afterwards I realized that if I needed to improve as a fighter, I needed to move to another gym and a better gym. At that stage, you know, until now, the best gym in Africa is Fight Fit Malaysia. You know, being champion wasn't like now you were a champion, and all of a sudden you get these reaches. You know, it still had to grind, and the pay wasn't amazing. And I decided that I had to move into Joburg. So in 2012, beginning of 2012, I moved into Joburg, stayed at FFM. Things were hard. I didn't have a place to stay. You know, I would stay in the gym, grafting every day. I think the first week that I stayed in the gym in FFM was probably the hardest week for me, because I didn't feel like I was human. You know, the same place that you sweat and bleed and cry, in pain, that's where you sleep or you eat. You know, I just felt like, and at that stage I was a champion. I could have said, you know what, I could have told myself that you know, you're good enough to stay in Pretoria and still stay champion, but I knew that I had to do more. So I started in the gym about 6 to 8 months in the gym, grafting, just trying to improve my skill set. I'll do every single session with the pros, I'll do every single session with the amateurs. So at that stage, I think I was doing like 11 or 12 sessions a day, every single day. You know, that was a lot of character building for me. It showed me that I could do anything that I put my mind to. Then eventually came, I fought, one of my hardest fights was with Wesley Hockey. I believe he was dominating 2 or 3 rounds into the 4th. I knew I had to finish the fight, and I envisioned finishing him with that rear naked choke so many times before leading up to the fight. Then I managed to get that rear naked choke, and I held it so long. Then eventually I got the win. Yeah, so after that it's just been getting better and better. You know, I've been proving the doubters wrong. I've been proving myself right, that I am a better fighter, and I keep getting better in every single fight. Well, really exciting times, you know, just partnering up with Restonic, you know, best beds around, taking over, you know, it's exciting times with Team Wolf, got Restonic on board. Best way, you put in so much work in the gym, you know, but when you get home you need that quality sleep. That's where Restonic is at. Okay, so, you know, 2017, I'm still at FFM. I've been progressing so much as an athlete. You know, my stand-up is coming so well. My hands are coming so right. You know, my last fight with Syed, I kicked a lot. I showed my versatility with my kicks. And my hands still needed a little bit more sharpening, but that's what I've been working on now. I've been boxing quite a lot and hot box. My wrestling and jiu-jitsu just keeps getting better and better. I am now a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. My wrestling is up there as well. You know, I can always dictate where the fight happens, if I want to keep it on my feet or take it down. Things, I've just been working harder and harder. You know, there's no time to relax in the sport. The minute you relax, there's always some young gun out there that wants to take your throne. You know, like a guy like Syed. You know, I believe he didn't do enough, you know, to win, and now he's gonna get another chance. We're having this show now, The Fighter, that EFC is gonna air soon. You know, it's exciting. You know, it's gonna be my first time fighting a guy twice. But yeah, I believe I'm just gonna destroy him. It's gonna be impressive, way better than the first time. It's gonna show how much I improve as an athlete. You know, exponential growth. And one other thing that I'm very excited about is that I managed to go back into university last year, and I graduated. It wasn't easy because I'm living now in Joburg. I had to manage my time so well because I was still doing full-time studying in Pretoria. So I try and wake up very early, do a session, go to Pretoria, drive through, have a few classes, come back, train again, miss a few classes. So I basically like see which classes I could miss and which ones I had to really be there. the hardest part was actually going back to study and being so tired through training and still that mental fatigue through studying, you know. The thing with fighting and combat sport is that they teach you a move and you do it right there and then. It's not like studying where they teach you a certain concept. It's just a theoretical concept in a sense of how to do something. Then you don't do it right there and then. You just have to like learn it and like parrots learning, you know. In terms of whatever anybody's doing, it's important to not just have the theoretical part but more the practical side. That's why I love what I do as a fighter, because you learn something, then you get to practice it and see what works and what doesn't. You know, I graduated and I'm looking to study something else again. You know, I want to keep my mind sharp, not just in terms of fighting but in academics. You know, it's important to you know, expand your knowledge, you know. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a classroom. You know, it's important to read different books and watch different types of documentaries in terms of how life is, and you know, not just what you fed on the media and what you're led to believe. It's important that as people we are aware of how things operate in the world, you know.